and I'd be curious to hear your experience with this, is you have competitive athletes, a lot of which can be very intense, kind of assholes.
Yes.
And sometimes it's like, why are you being so uptight about 2 seconds on your WOD, right? You'll be fine, in a competition. And then they are yelling at people, get out of the way, not taking their equipment, stuff like that.
They act like they own the gym.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I what I think is so cool here is we have our athletes who are what most people look up to and what they want to achieve. And then you've got the guys that are just in here to stay healthy, and it's humbling for the athletes. It's a good mix of people. Yep. So what was your experience of that?
Yeah, I mean, competitive athletes are very hard, and I was just thinking about what we were talking about this.
Yeah.
If I ever started a gym again, which I'm not going to do, I would call it the transformation gym. And all I would have is people that just want a transformation, and I would just have story after testimony after testimony after testimony, right? Mm-hmm. Because I was just working with a gym, and they were getting a bunch of 40-year-olds that were, like, pretty out of shape, right? And he's like, everybody that's coming to me is, like, very out of shape, and, like, just this is very beginner for them. And I'm like, great.
Those are the people you want.
Yeah. He's like, no, I want really fit athletes. And I was like, dude, that's probably not the best recipe.
Yeah.
Competitive athletes are hard. They always care too much about your programming. They want to have a say in everything that goes on in the gym. And so, like, I really liked, especially, like, when I had my Zionsville location, it was a great area, that just have, like, the mom, dad that just wanted to come in, work out for an hour, and go home, right? Yeah. Like, happy, didn't complain. But, yeah, like, I think when I first opened my gym, super competitive people, that was super young atmosphere, was great for a while. But it's one of those that, like, if one pulls away, they all, like, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
And whereas, like, if you get older people, they're just more professional. I'm not saying, like, those people aren't professional, but, like, just professional career, have kids, kind of just older stage of life, where they just look at, like, fitness as, I just want to live longer.
It's part of their day.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
And I just need to do this because it's important for my health and my well-being. Not so much that I'm trying to PR every time I walk in the gym. Those are the type of people I want in my gym, right? And so, so I kind of went through all areas of it, like super competitive, and then a guy that is one of our coaches for Business Lasso, he used to have a team that went to the game at Friendship Fitness, and then the next year he kicked them all out and changed.
He kicked them out
because they were just like, they were jerks to everybody.
Yeah,
they acted like they owned the place. They wouldn't let, and I know there's gyms in town like that. I've heard that, right? That like, oh, our competitive athletes get first say in anything. Like, they don't pay any more than somebody else.
And a lot of times they don't pay even what everybody else is paying, right? Like, there was a coach I trained under for years when I was in mixed martial arts, and I was one of his fighters, and my rate was a third of what other members would pay, right? Yeah. And then there were times where he's like, don't worry about it, because I was competing, right? Yeah. And he got away from that completely. He basically is like, I'm done training fighters. They're wishy-washy. They are emotional. They'll show up and then not show up, and then it's like he's like, I'm chasing people down, trying to set them up with fights and do all this, and putting my heart and soul into this and not getting paid. It's like, no.
Oh, and actually, competitive athletes are probably going to take up more of the gym time, and they need more weights. They need all this stuff. They actually probably paying more than anybody else because they're spending more time in the gym.
Yeah, they should be paying more. Yeah. Well, and that's one thing we look at is there's a standard, right? Like even the competitive athletes pay a membership, right? And I think that's a good way of keeping the playing field even, right?